started to keep a journal as if I was Ryle and the things that Ryle experienced in his life. And I had to create, as an example, the trauma that happened to him. I had to recreate that for myself.
I just really love romance, and I love it as an audience member, and I love it in my real life, and I just really believe in romance.
You can't just put me in any clothes and give me any words and have me step in and transform. And I used to be very insecure about that. I used to feel like an imposter because I would watch actors who were just shapeshifters. They could do it in any circumstance.
Oh, honey, the drama between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni has been all over the place. But hold up. Some wild theories are saying there's way more going on behind closed doors than we ever thought. We're talking a whole level of mess that didn't just start with their movie. A romance flick that kicked off hot but ended up giving us a crash course on domestic violence. And baby, the cast was in turmoil too. This project that looked so promising at the start, it's now a straight-up disaster. And trust, there could be more skeletons in the closet waiting to be revealed. Folks are out here wondering when Blake started running the show, how things got so out of hand, and why Justin was letting it all slide. Well, this theory, it's gonna break it all down with some receipts to back it up. The deeper you dig into this, the more you're gonna see all those little clues that tie everything together. And I'm telling you, it's way closer to the truth than they've been letting on. The most talked about theory, that Blake fell for Justin while they were filming. And even though she low-key dropped some hints, things just didn't play out the way she wanted. The breakdown of this theory is gonna have you shook. It's the most revealing part of this whole mess. Okay, let's dive into this tea. Now, let's talk about Blake's past work. Sis has never gone all the way there like she did with Justin in It Ends With Us. I mean, when it came to those intimate scenes, she was letting it all hang out in a way we've never seen before. And here's where it gets spicy. In her complaint, she said she needed an intimacy coordinator on set. But hold up. Justin came back swinging with receipts, showing how Blake was not interested in meeting with the intimacy coordinator. Girl, she was practically the intimacy coordinator herself, calling the shots on how close she'd get to Justin. Now, for Blake to turn around and act like there wasn't an intimacy coordinator on set? That sounds like a slick move to take control of the situation, especially since it was clear she might have gotten a little too comfortable while filming. And get this, Blake herself said she's not like other actors who disappear into their roles. And honestly, people have been saying she plays the same character in every movie. And guess what? Her own words kind of proved that theory right. It's looking like Blake was more herself than we thought, and not in a good way.
You can't just put me in any clothes and give me any words and have me step in and transform. And I used to be very insecure about that. I used to feel like an imposter because I would watch actors who were just shapeshifters. They could do it in any circumstance.
Ooh, so Blake's out here spilling the tea, huh? She's saying she's a whole different breed in Hollywood, implying she kept it 100 on set with Justin. But let's be real. Keeping it real might have taken things a little too far, and it wasn't exactly in Blake's favor. When they asked her how she gets into character, Blake straight up responded.
I mean, for me, the way I always get into a character is through their wardrobe. When I literally inhabit them, I feel so much more. Clothes are very expressive to me. I feel like a different person given whatever I'm wearing.
Hold up, this gets wild. So Blake straight up pulled some of her own clothes out of her closet to nail the character. Yep, she basically made the role all about her. Meanwhile, Justin, oh baby, he took a whole other route to get in character. Completely different vibe.
Started to keep a journal as if I was Ryle and the things that Ryle experienced in his life. And I had to create, as an example, the trauma that happened to him. I had to recreate that for myself.
Now here's where things get extra spicy. In the book, Ryle is this total heartthrob, handsome and impossible to resist. And honey, we can't help but wonder if Blake might have caught some of those same vibes from Justin, especially after she spilled the tea on how much she's all about romance.
I just really love romance, and I love it as an audience member, and I love it in my real life, and I just really believe in romance.
Ooh, honey. Let's get into it. So Blake, the queen herself, opened up about playing that role in It Ends With Us, saying when she steps into that character, she's in a whole new dimension, like fireworks going off in her mind. And she wasn't shy about giving Colleen mad props for writing the characters so well, because it made Blake feel every single thing Lily was going through, especially when it came to the tension between her, Atlas, and Ryle. The attraction, real deep, with all these layers of mixed up emotions happening at once. Now Blake's keeping it 100, admitting she ain't exactly a chameleon when it comes to becoming her characters. But she did say she loves a good romance. So yeah, she might be the type to fall head over heels real quick. But here's the tea. This woman is married, hasn't exactly been diving into wild, spicy roles recently, yet she chose this intense, vulnerable character just just a few months after having a baby. You know that was a risky move, right? Total recipe for drama. And wait for it, it gets even juicier. Justin, the man himself, was method acting on set, basically channeling Ryle's complicated vibe to make the character feel real. You know that energy wasn't just left in the script, so you're telling me whatever kind of chemistry Ryle had with Lily probably mirrored what was going down on set? Uh-huh, I said what I said. Now don't come for me. But this little theory might just have more truth to it than we think. Cause guess what resurfaced? An old comment Blake made on one of Justin's workout posts. Yup, and it's got folks thinking maybe, just maybe, Blake caught some serious feelings for her co-star. The comment was from like 100 weeks ago, which just so happens to be, you guessed it, 2023. Coincidence? I think not. So they start working together on set, right around the time Blake's having her baby. Now, during one of the workout scenes, Blake peeps at Justin doing his exercises and can't help herself. She's like, amazing, now try it pregnant. Y'all, I don't know about you, but that definitely had some vibes. And Justin, quick with the clapback, says, you win. People are running wild with theories about this little back and forth. Some saying Blake loves turning everything into a competition. Nah, that's not it though. What I do think is that maybe Blake was just low-key trying to let Justin know she's feeling him. Like, yeah, I see you, I'm in this too, even though it wasn't about her. You know how but hold up. Blake might have been trying to throw off the gossip machine. She made a point to address the drama about Justin saying she was dressing appealing for her character. But honey, that wasn't the whole story. Turns out Blake was actually in charge of her own wardrobe, throwing shade at the costume designer. Justin only spoke up about her outfits after they made headlines and were tagged as unflattering. But here's the kicker. Blake was the one suggesting she wear those sexy outfits for her role. So, when the movie's steamy scenes with all those passionate kisses, it feels like Blake's throwing shade at Justin for being too into it, accusing him of dragging those kisses out longer than needed. But let's be real, Blake was in control the whole time. She was the one pulling Justin in and teaching him how to make those kisses work. And get this, she also tried to say Justin added more intense scenes than what was originally agreed upon. Wrong again, sis. Turns out Justin just wanted Blake to work with the intimacy coordinator to fine-tune things, but she wasn't having it. All right, here's how I'd spice this up with that gossipy, juicy vibe and Black American flair while keeping it tight and on point. Here we go. In the end, Blake went ahead and rewrote those scenes with Justin. And guess what? She even had her husband step in to rewrite one of them too. Now, in her little complaints, Blake claimed Justin walked into her trailer while she was topless and breastfeeding. Sounds wild, right? But hold on. The receipts paint a whole different picture. Ain't no way Justin could have timed that perfectly to barge in while she was breastfeeding unless he had some secret intel. And that ain't it. Here's the real tea. Blake actually invited Justin over to go over their lines together, even though she was busy pumping. But when Justin got the invite, he didn't rush over all thirst. He told her straight up he was eating and would come after that. Now, with how straightforward their chat was, it's hard to believe Blake twisted that into something else. Could it be that she was trying to get back at him for not vibing with her romantic energy on set? Sounds like it might be a little payback move, huh? Sounds like it might be a little payback move, huh? And y'all, the plot thickens. Turns out Blake's got a history of falling in love with her co-stars. First, she was all over Penn Badgley while they were filming Gossip Girl. They were playing lovers on the show. And surprise, surprise, they turned that chemistry into a real-life romance. Their characters, Serena and Dan, were practically made to be together. And clearly, that magic followed them off screen. It was one of their first big gigs, and they got to bond while rising to fame together. So yeah, it's no wonder she might have been looking for that same kind of connection on set again. Sadly, Blake and Penn's love story came to an end in 2010, just before Gossip Girl wrapped up in 2012. But guess what? Blake wasn't done falling for her co-stars just yet. Enter Ryan Reynolds, cue the drama, who she met on the set of Green Lantern. Now, here's the twist. Ryan was married to Scarlett Johansson at the time, but the sparks flew anyway. They both swore up and down they were just friends, but the way they looked at each other and talked about one another, people started whispering that Ryan might have cheated on Scarlett with Blake and left his wife for her. Now, while that didn't happen overnight, it's clear that the romantic connection started simmering on set. But hold up. Before Ryan, Blake almost had deja vu with Ben Affleck on the set of The Town, when he was still married to Jennifer Garner. The rumor mill was buzzing that Blake and Ben got way too close, acting like love-struck teens, leaving Jennifer in a panic. Even though Blake was still with Penn at the time, the way she and Ben were flirting and spending time together hinted at an emotional affair, full of baked goods, secret dates, and those little moments no one can miss. Blake's got a type, y'all. She falls in love on set, and now, with all that drama going down with Justin, it wouldn't be surprising if her heart got tangled up with him too. Maybe her feelings weren't returned, and rather than letting it slide, she decided to stir the pot and make Justin the villain. I mean, with her husband being the jealous type, Blake might have decided to put Justin in the hot seat just to boost his ego. In the end, It's starting to feel like it was a one-sided love affair that went completely off the rails. Now, here's the thing. Blake might not have been looking for anything serious with Justin, but let's be real, it probably stung that he wasn't feeling the same energy. And when you think about Blake's whole life, it makes sense why she'd be caught up in her feelings. I mean, this girl's had her way with pretty much everything. As a kid, her dad had to bribe the choir director just to get her the lead role. Talk about privilege, right? Coming from that kind of background and having everything handed to her, it's no surprise Blake might not know how rejection really feels. But let's not forget, Blake's been off the radar for a while. She's got 4 kids now and a husband who's an actor always working. With that busy life, it's easy to see why she might get lonely and bored, right? So here she is, an established mom and wife who, despite all that success, is craving that romantic excitement again. She loves romance, and we all know that. So when the chance to be in a romantic film comes up with a super hot love interest, what does she do? She says yes? Duh. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While testing the waters to see if that spark was still there, Blake decides to poke the bear a little, just to see if she still got it. But when Justin doesn't bite, oh honey, she's embarrassed and does a complete 180, acting like she never meant it that way. Instead, she flipped the script and tried to make it look like Justin was the one who initiated everything. Classic. And then we get into some real messy territory. Blake's theory shifts to the idea that she felt awful because Justin asked her about her weight, as if that was some kind of deal breaker for him. Instead of wondering why Justin might have asked about that, Blake's spiraling and assuming it's because he wasn't that into her. But hold up, this doesn't sit right with her husband. He swoops in, shows up on set, and decides it's time to set Justin straight. Oh, and he doesn't just stop there. He throws some serious shade, making fun of Justin for even thinking he could mess with his wife. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.